Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, that's me, boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Saturday evening. I hope everybody is having a great weekend. If not a great weekend, then a good weekend. I had a great day because it was capped off with a win by the Alabama Crimson Tide. Whoop, whoop. I'm sorry if there are any Auburn Tiger fans in here, but this was a nail biter. I yelled so loud, I think I scared Jack. Not what I want to do, but we won. So hooray! That's not why I'm here. If you know that on Wednesday nights, I watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This week, I completely forgot about that. So I watched it. When did I watch it? I watched it partially on Thursday night and the rest of it last night. So what I'm going to do is I figured I would crack open a Diet Coke because, woo, if you know, you know. Diet Coke is my pop of choice, not soda. Pop. I don't have a ton of them every so often, just a little can. So we are going to jump into a recap and a rant of this week's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So where we picked up this week is where we left off last week, and that was the discussion between Kyle and Sutton. Nine-mum. So, you know, Sutton says, what's going on with you? I mean, what's going on with you? And she says off camera that she never talks about her life. And Kyle says, hey, if you want to know, why don't you just ask? Why don't you just ask and I'll tell you? Listen, Sutton let it drop there. I wouldn't have. I would have gotten all of the tea. I mean, I would have gotten every last sip. I would have taken that whole teapot and just poured it down my throat. But she didn't. So Kyle gets up and says, before it gets out of hand, I'm gonna leave. So Kyle leaves. I thought they were both kind of aggressive in that conversation. Next, we have Erica. Erica's mom, Renee, is going to be staying with her, is paying her visit, and is going to be staying with her for a little while. And listen, her mom called her fat because her mom comes in and she says, oh, you're looking, Erica said, oh, you're looking slim or trim or something like that. And her mom said, oh, look at you. You're looking slim too. You're very slim down. And then Erica had said, well, yeah, remember the last time you were here, you called me fat? You said I looked fat. And she was like, yes, I did. Listen, I know I'm fat, but honestly, if my mother would ever call me fat, I would probably burst into flames from all of the crying. Who the fuck does that? Yes, I did say that. The fuck is that? And also, we find out that Erica's mom had her when she was young. And she was like, yeah, my mom was out clubbing when me and my mom were out clubbing and people thought I was 20. I was 14. So, I mean, that made me wonder, like, was Erica looking for maybe like a father figure then whenever she got with and married Tom? I don't know, because I mean, she didn't seem to have any kind of real like parental figure in her life. Next up was Garcelle. Garcelle and her son Jade, they were cooking. They were talking a little bit about Garcelle's movie that was coming up. But first of all, Garcelle had basically just said that she wants her sons to really be able to express themselves because her parents really didn't give her that option of expressing themselves. So she wants to be a different mother than her mother was. She didn't throw any shade on her mom. She just said that she would like for her kids to be able to express themselves. And listen, say what you want about her as a housewife. I love her as a housewife. I think she's a great mother. I think she's an absolutely great mother. And like I said, they were talking about she's going to be having a screening of her movie, Black Girl Missing. It's on Lifetime. And she was asking Jade, who are you going to bring? He's like, Ashlyn, because this boy loves Ashlyn. That's great. So he's going to be bringing Ashlyn. Next was Crystal and Rob. I liked it when they were at home. They were actually sitting there and they were just having dinner and talking with their, I don't know if she was not their maid or their assistant. I like that. And I like Rob. I mean, Rob, to be honest with you, Rob might be my favorite house husband on the Housewives. I just think he's funny. I like Rob. But they were talking about how Rob and Jeff, Crystal's brother, went to China because Rob and Crystal have a house there. And listen, I think that would be awesome for the girls to take a girls trip over to China. I think that would be very interesting. I don't know if that would be allowed by like the Chinese government, but I think that would be kind of interesting. But anyways, they went over there to check on his house. This was actually the first time that Jeff saw his ex-fiance. And you remember that in a couple episodes back, they had broken up. Jeff and his fiance had broken up because the pandemic had broken out, and Crystal and her mom were really on Jeff's case for him to come over to America. He could come over. His fiance could not come over because she did not have a valid passport. And Rob, I feel like Rob kind of hit it on the head. Rob had said that he feels like there's a competitive energy between Crystal and the ex-fiance. Jeff saw his ex-fiance and was very, you could tell because they talked to Jeff on video phone, and he was crying. It was very difficult for him. And Rob tells Crystal, listen, in order for Jeff to start like his own family, he really has to break away a little bit, not totally, but break away a little bit from Crystal and his mom. I kind of agree with that. I do agree with that. And like I said, maybe there is a little bit of a competitive energy between Crystal and the ex-fiance. Next was Sutton and Jennifer Tilly. I like Jennifer Tilly on here, but I hear a lot of people saying that they would like Jennifer Tilly to be a housewife. I wouldn't. I like Jennifer Tilly, and I like to see this real relationship that happened, that was in place before the show. Like, I do believe that Garcelle and Sutton are real friends, like for real, after the cameras stop rolling. But Jennifer Tilly was a friend of Sutton's well before the TV show, well before the Housewives. And I wouldn't want to see Jennifer Tilly on, because honestly, if I like somebody outside of the show and then they come on, there's a chance that they could do something that is going to make me not like them. So I don't want Jennifer Tilly on. She's okay as a friend of. So Sutton and Jennifer Tilly, they go to meet Sutton's new horse, Santos. And I think she said that she got Santos because her manicurist or pedicurist had bought a horse. This horse is $47,000. $47,000. That's like pocket change to her. That's like chump change to Sutton. I was like, wow. So they go there. She brings them horses. She brings them carrots. She brings him a lovely rose like wreath around his neck. He throws up. It's so fun. It is a beautiful horse though. Absolutely beautiful horse. So they sit down, they have a little bit to eat, and Sutton opens up about Kyle. She says, you know, she's just gotten very thin. She was at the gym for like 3 hours while they were in Vegas, and there's no wedding band, and something's going on. Something is happening. Listen, you should have asked her. You had the chance, Sutton. I would have. So she thinks something's going on. And Jennifer Tilly says, and I think she could very well be right. She says maybe she's just trying to move on to a new phase in life and maybe just regain control of her life. I don't think she's wrong. I think that's right. The new phase is like post Mauricio, and maybe she felt like she just didn't have any control over her life, and she's trying to claim like a new life or control of a new life. I think she's right. Back to Erica and her mom. They were talking, and her mom, well, Erica had said that when she was in Chicago, in the play Chicago in New York, her and her mom were just not in the best place. They had not talked, I think she said, for like a year or a couple years. And she's in Chicago, and then all of a sudden her mom just shows up unannounced, is talking to everybody and schmoozing, and she felt kind of ambushed. And she had said, and Renee was upset because she had said that she was talking to Erica, and Erica had hung up on her. And Erica was like, no, you hung up on me. Her mom was like, nope, you hung up on me. So Erica says, that's right, I did hang up on you because you asked me a question about Tom. See, here's the thing. Shit was blowing up all over the place, like blowing up with Tom. And then there's the show. And then here she comes with this ambush. And around that time, if you remember, when I say shit was blowing up with Tom, I mean, at that time, if you remember, when she was doing Chicago, he didn't even come out to see it. And she had said at the time, she said he didn't get a chance to because COVID happened. I think she was saying that as a cover. I don't think he was ever going to come out. Like, if you remember, the way he talked to her, if you remember, in any of the conversations they showed between the two of them, if you didn't know that if nobody told you they were married, you wouldn't know that they were married. And I'm not even saying because of the age difference. I'm saying just because he didn't really talk to her like a husband would talk to their wife. And remember that first time years ago when LVP was still on and they were in a conversation at dinner, and Erica jumped in and said something, and he says he reprimanded her immediately. I don't think he was ever going to go see that show. So, but then there was a question that was brought up. She was asking, Renee, Erica's mom, was asking about Tom. And then she said, how many times did you visit the firm? And she's like, we're not going to talk about that. What's that about? I'm just saying. She shut her up pretty quick. What was that about? And next up was Kyle. Kyle was talking to Dorit. And at the same time, Sutton was talking to Garcelle. Not that much came out of the discussion with Sutton and Garcelle. However, Kyle was talking to Dorit, and she was going over everything that her and Sutton had talked about. And listen, I'm going to tell you, when Sutton did the whole, oh, Sutton, and she did the recreation of what Erica did. I mean, when Sutton recreated it, it's not like how Erica had done it. But then when Kyle recreated Sutton's recreation, it was nowhere near, like, it was way, way over the top, because she stands up like Sutton stood up and was like, "It's your chance to get out here and apologize." She really didn't say that. And she had basically was telling Dorit that everything she was saying was like in a threatening tone. And Kyle tells Dorit that Sutton thinks that that whole meeting at the elevator in Vegas was a setup. I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Because her and Mikey was on the elevator. They're very close. Who's to say that Mikey didn't text Erica and say, "Hey, we are on the elevator, meet us by the elevator," or vice versa? I wouldn't put it past either one of them. I mean, I believe it could have been a setup. And Dorit, always having Kyle's back, Dorit says, I think it was a threat. I think Sutton being like, "Well, what's going on with you?" was a threat. But what was the threat? I mean, there wasn't any threatening. What was she threatening to do? She was just like asking what's going on. That's all. What was the threat? There was no threat at all. Kyle is like, she's absolutely talking about these rumors about my marriage. And then Dorit's like, "Well, I'm going to be riding to the screening with her tonight. So I don't know. We'll find out." Speaking of which, so Dorit is waiting for Sutton. Sutton is inside having pictures taken for her store. So she's a little bit late coming out. Listen, Dorit, you can wait, because if you remember, like seasons ago, when boring ass Teddy Mellencamp was on, who is still trying to make fetch happen, it will never happen. Remember when Teddy had that thing? I think it was Sutton's. Was it Sutton's first season? It might have been. I don't know. Anyways, she was having that, because she's that accountability coach. And she was having that function. And everybody was there, but Dorit was late because Dorit had to take all of those pictures for IG where she was posing in athletic wear, athleisure wear. So listen, don't say anything. Don't say anything about that. And Dorit then finds out that it's not going to be like a small gathering. It's going to be a little larger. And she had said that she's feeling triggered because she thought it was going to be like an intimate crowd, which then immediately made me think, well, wait a minute. There was a large crowd in Vegas, so why were you okay with that? But then she said if she knows it's going to be a big crowd, she can mentally prepare herself for it. So, okay. But then when you get into Garcelle's like screening, and the thing I didn't understand was they're standing there, Garcelle, Sutton, and Dorit. And all of a sudden, Dorit is freaked out by the cameraman. The cameraman who's probably with her all the time, filming, because she's on a TV show. That I did not understand that whatsoever. None of it. So they get to the screening. And listen, this is serious. I'm not making any jokes about this. I'm going to tell you, I absolutely love that Garcelle is using her star power to get an important message out there. The screening was for the movie Black Girl Missing, and it looks like it's on Lifetime. She stars in it. She's an executive producer, and this is something that she wanted this message put out there with this movie because she wants the same passion and compassion and media attention when black and brown people go missing as for when anyone else goes missing. Because so often people of color are not reported on as much. And it doesn't seem like there's the same level of compassion or passion or empathy for them. So I applaud her. And it was hashtag help us. It was hashtag help us find us. And the website that they had was blackandmissinginc.com. I thought it was a very powerful message, and I love that she used her star power to get this movie made and to get this message out there. It is such an important message. I love that. I love Garcelle, and I love her for doing that. Back to the screening. There were some Bravo celebrities there. Larsa Pippen from Real Housewives of Miami was there, and Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell is probably my favorite celebrity Bravo fan. I absolutely, if him and Rebecca Romaine were to ever get on that show, they would be my favorite, hands down. I guarantee, hands down. What else? Okay, so Jax decides to approach, Crystal decides to approach Erica. Before he does that, he asks for Crystal to go over with him. Because remember, last year, Crystal was with him whenever Erica told him to F off. So she went over with him. I like that Crystal is friends with Garcelle and has Jax's back. I like that. I enjoy seeing that. I was really surprised when she was like, I feel like Erica is changing, is a changed person, and that she would really like for people to see her in a different light and to see that she's changed. That really surprises me quite a bit. So Jax goes over to Erica, tells her everything is fine, we're cool. And Erica apologized. And Erica off camera is like, Jax is a class act and Garcelle is doing a great job raising her sons. Erica is right. She absolutely is. Garcelle says off camera, she respects Jax for doing that and she loves that he did that. But true, Erica was the adult in the situation. She was the one who was wrong. So she should have been the one to go over. During the screening, during the showing, Denise Richards quietly showed up like behind the scenes. Now see, this, Kyle, that is a real friendship. That is a for real friendship right there. Take note. Take note. So Denise shows up. Crystal is very welcoming. Dorit was like, oh, it's been years since we've seen you, which it was. It was like 3 years since she walked off of the set. 3 seasons, I think it was, since she walked off the set from the reunion. And then she went over and hugged Erica, which was odd because apparently next week at the dinner party, she gets into it with her. So, but they were very welcoming. Sutton and Kyle talk. Kyle says that she thinks Sutton was a little off in their discussion. Sutton thinks the same thing about Kyle. Kyle says, well, listen, if you want to know, then just ask. Say something. Say something about it because you're obviously talking about the rumors about my marriage. So why don't you just ask? And Sutton says something that I agree with. She said, there's a lack of respect towards me. And you treat me like a little sister. Kyle had said, no, I don't. Please don't flatter yourself. I don't. Sutton, you do not want to be treated like one of her sisters. She treated Kim absolutely terribly, and the same thing with Kathy. Why would you want to be treated like one of her sisters? And Sutton also asks if she's maybe not happy with her because she's friends with her sister Kathy. And off camera, Sutton was like, I can tell you, if I had a sister and one of my friends was friends with my sister, but I was not friends with my sister, I would be mad. I can't say that Sutton is wrong. And as far as respect, she most certainly does not respect her. Sutton says that their friendship is a farce. And it's true. She didn't say that to her face. She said that behind the camera. She said to Kyle, you've changed a lot. You don't tell me anything. And that's why she said, it's a farce. It absolutely is a farce. And Kyle bringing up all this, if you were a friend, if you were a friend, if you were a friend. Well, if you were a friend, you wouldn't talk to her like that. Sutton is the only one of those ladies that Kyle will talk to like that. The only one. And Sutton is the only one that Kyle will not stick up for. She won't. Because she thinks that Sutton is a person that can be walked on. She's not going to stand up for herself. Well, let me tell you, she will. Screw you, Kyle. As Ken said, goodbye, Kyle. And lastly, Dorit was talking to Garcelle. Garcelle had said that when she told them about her family in Vegas, Dorit was just so defensive that maybe she didn't even hear what she said. Garcelle was upset because at the time when Erica had dropped the F-bomb on her 14-year-old son, Dorit really didn't reprimand Erica in the moment at all. And then piled on because she didn't say anything when PK and Mauricio were laughing about it. She felt like her son was just disregarded. That's it. Didn't matter. He didn't matter. His feelings didn't matter. And Garcelle had said that Dorit took what Garcelle had said so hard that she was kind of wondering, like, wait a minute, am I crazy? Did I do something wrong for saying this? Which it's like an unintentional gaslighting, I guess, which she didn't. She did nothing wrong. And then also Garcelle brought up the fact that like you said, you should get over it. It's been over a year. You should just get over it. And Dorit was like, no, I didn't say it. She's like, you did say it. I would never say to you, hey, it's been over a year since your home invasion. You should just get over it. I would never say that. And Dorit apologized. And off camera, and I can agree with Garcelle on this. Off camera, Garcelle had said, I don't think that Dorit is malicious. I don't think she is malicious either. Do I think Kyle at times is malicious? I do. I think that just Dorit is so like self-absorbed that maybe she doesn't realize what she's saying. I don't know. I think a lot of people when they're malicious. I think Kyle is malicious. I think Erica for certain is malicious. So, I don't know. Tell me what you thought about this week. Next week we meet the new housewife. I can't even remember. Angie Marie. I don't know what her name is. We also finally meet Morgan Wade for the first time. The rumors. We find out they met because Kyle was stalking her. And also probably one of the dinner party. This dinner party is going to be packed. We got Denise Richards. We have Camille. It looks like maybe the morally corrupt Faye Resnick. And was that Cynthia Bailey that was sitting beside Sutton? Possibly, but I'm going to tell you. It looks like the drama is going to be between the new housewife and Crystal, because Crystal says that bitch is nosy. And it looks like Sutton is trying to pull it out of Kyle at the dinner table. So we shall see, but let me know if you watched. This is a long video. Anybody who watched to the very end, say, I made it. I made it. And a donkey emoji. I don't know why. And with that being said, if nobody told you yet today, then I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, positivity, and understanding out there. Please take care of one another. And remember 2 things. Please stay aware of your surroundings, and please stay safe. And I will see you guys tomorrow with a review and a reset and who knows what else. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. I love you guys.